Oh my God.
You gotta give us some gas when
I
you're
gave
backing
it
up.
the proper amount of gas.
I guess that's why we're moving now.
Look, it just was idling too long. It'll start.
You should've just let me drive, yo.
Look, nothing would be different in this moment except you panicking and flooding the engine.
Bullshit.
Fellas, I was enjoying the Laurel and Hardy vibe, but I'm not such a fan of the Bickersons.
We're back. Bitch. Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Better Call Saul. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our review for this week's episode of Better Call Saul. This is for Season 6, Episode 11, titled Breaking Bad. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another video today. This one's going to be doing another video for Better Call Saul. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly review for the final season, Season 6, Episode 11, titled, brace yourselves for this title, this one is titled Breaking Bad. So, what the hell? What the frig? So, you guys were letting me know about this earlier on in the week. I had a few people messaging me telling me that, Dan, this episode of Better Call Saul is going to be titled no other than Breaking Bad. So, I remember when I heard that, my hype just went way up. Because, obviously, we had heard the news, like, you know, months ago at this point. Jesse and Walt were announced to return in Saul Season 6. They did make the announcements earlier this season. And we finally got it. We finally got the cameo that they were talking about. And honestly, guys, I have a gut feeling we're going to get more in episode 12. I really do. Because, you know, the way they kind of are doing this is very, very clever. And I am going to discuss the previous timeline first, and then we'll discuss, you know, the Gene storyline. Because they're very, you know, they're two different timelines. I'd like to discuss them, you know, separately. So let's talk about the flashbacks, okay? So in Breaking Bad, I can't even believe that we're actually able to discuss this again. In Breaking Bad, obviously, Walt went to Saul's office and, you know, met him for the first time and stuff like that. And then after hours, we had Saul that got captured by these two, you know, thugs type of, you know, guys, right? And he was captured in the back of the RV. So this episode starts off and we actually see a brand new scene of, you know, Saul tied up in the back of the bus, screaming and stuff like that. And, you know, he's trying to kind of get their attention. They pull over. They drag him out of the RV. They place him in front. I can't even believe that they actually recreated the scene. They place him in front of this, you know, empty grave. He starts to get worried and asks, you know, these two thugs at the time that he thinks. And he's like, did Lalo send you? Lalo? Is it Lalo? You know? And, you know, he's just like, who the hell is Lalo? You know? But they cut it in this version, right? So you don't see the rest of the scene yet. So the rest of the scene continues in Breaking Bad, where you see them, you know, Walt starts coughing, then Saul picks up on the fact that it's the same guy that went to go see him from the office, blah, 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 and they make the deal for him to go help out, you know, Badger and, you know, to get him out of there and stuff like that, right? So that's what you see there. And then in Better Call Saul, they actually made both Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul reprise their roles for this quick cameo, and it was so damn cool. They basically then continue the scene after they make the deal, after Walt puts the $1 in his pocket, and Jesse, that only had a 5 at the time, puts a 5 in his pocket, right? So they go into the RV, you've got Saul now this is filmed in the Better Call Saul timeline, and, you know, nowadays, right? But they recreated it so wonderfully. I mean, Walt looks the exact same. Jimmy looks absolutely exactly the same. Jesse, I will admit, threw me off a bit, but again, like, it's damn near close. I mean, it's almost there, for God's sakes. There's no way they could have got it perfect. And honestly, I think they got it as perfect as they could have, you know? I've already heard people online saying, like, oh my God, like, it looked so different. I'm like, guys, it's been like 10 years. Like, what do you expect, right? So anyway, you get the recreation of the scene, and I love when you got Jimmy that's kind of like, you know, like, oh, you're the Heisenberg, and this is what you use, and you guys have this operation here in this RV and stuff like that. And they then decide to head out, right? They decide to drive out, and I love it. We have Saul that takes the passenger seat, and you've got Walt that's going to drive. And, Jesse's just like, all right, I'll just stand then, dick. So, yeah, it's like nothing ever changed, man. And you get Walt that starts up the RV, and it's not starting up right. So he's like, just give me a second. I know what I'm doing or whatever, and it's gonna go perfectly. And Jesse's like, great, considering that we're moving, So they have to sit for a little bit and kind of let the RV cool down. And this is when Jesse asks the question, so who was that guy Lalo that you were talking about? And it kind of worries Jimmy there for a bit, but he kind of just blows it off. And he tells Walt, which this is actually really cool. He tells him, like, can we go, or else we're going to end up buried, in the ground for years and years out here, Which I think is really, really cool, considering what just happened with Lalo and Howard a few episodes ago in the lab. And little the frig that, Jesse and Walt knew they'd be standing over these two dead bodies in a darn lab. I mean, that's something that I still can't even believe happened. But, yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. So they then go, obviously they then kind of head out, and then you kind of do this, like, timeline shift where I'm not sure if this is some sort of symbolism. It kind of feels like something's going on with this. But they show the grave again as they drive away in the RV, and you see it, and then it cuts to Gene laying there on his bed. So, is that trying to tell us that maybe Gene is going to die, that Saul is going to die in the final episode? I don't know, but we only have 2 left. So, what did I think about this cameo? What did I think about this return? I absolutely fucking loved it. I mean, it was so damn cool. It's like nothing changed, honestly. And it's so cool because I remember I instantly went to Breaking Bad and rewatched that scene again. And I watched this and I was just like, damn, like, it's literally the same. Like, it's so well done. But they only recreated, like, part of the scene. Most of this is, like, new stuff that they saved for, like, 10 years just so this show would do it. Like, my goodness, Vince, what the hell, man? Like, seriously, that was incredible. Like, they saved so many scenes. Like, it doesn't feel like in the Breaking Bad episode, in Season 2, Episode 8, like there were scenes missing. It felt like, everything connected perfectly already. But somehow they made it to where 10 years later in a spinoff, there's actually scenes that they could show in between those scenes that fill gaps. But you never noticed there were gaps to fill until you watched this episode, Which, let's talk about the other one real quick. We also have Mike that goes into Jimmy's office and discuss Heisenberg with him. And, obviously who he is, how he's a high school chemistry teacher, which therefore then makes you realize how Jimmy finds out where Walt works, and that's when he goes to see him at the end of Better Call Saul Season 2, Episode 8. And we see him pull in at the high school at the very end of the episode, and he walks right past Walt's car into the school. Again, how did he ever know where exactly Walt worked? Well, now we got that answer. I never even wondered that in Breaking Bad, but we got that here. So, it's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Absolutely love it. Now, okay. Now, let's discuss some of the Gene stuff as well, too. So, in this episode, we have Gene, who is basically, kind of just out there. He's, kind of doing his thing. And we do get to see his assistant that worked for him in his old office back in the day. And she kind of gives him the rundown of everything that's been going on, everything has basically gone to shit at this point. And we did get info that apparently Kim, who was working out in Florida that we so apparently know, apparently she asked if Jimmy was alive. She wanted to know if Jimmy was alive, so she's asking about him. And we then see him make a call to someone else in another phone booth. And the damn writers friggin' cut it off. We don't know what the frig happened. We don't know what happened, but something that made him pissed off. So, did he talk to Kim? Did he not talk to Kim? Did he reach her? Did he not? We don't know. So, I guess we're going to have to find out. I'm sure they're going to answer it at some point, but we only have 2 episodes left, so they got to answer it at some point. But either way, absolutely awesome stuff. And then we get to see him in the current timeline go back to his Saul ways. He's wearing the earpiece. He's busting people. He's working with the cab driver to then, kind of bust people and stuff like that. He's, kind of doing what him and Kim used to do back in the day, which is kind of cool to kind of see, right? So he's kind of doing all these scams and stuff like that. and we kind of see him start doing this. And while it just seems like by the time the episode goes through that he is really, really starting to just get rid of the Gene persona and completely go back to his old ways. And we're going to see where it takes him. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes. So, this episode was absolutely fantastic. I love this episode. It's really, really awesome. I will say there are a few slow moments in the current timeline with Gene that I wasn't too hooked, I'll say, all the way through. But it was a fantastic episode. I'm still giving it a 10 out of 10 because honestly, it deserves it. It did something that most TV shows don't do these days, which is bring back the leads that we have watched since the beginning of the franchise. And honestly, that is a phenomenal, you know, gift to the fans. So that is it for this review, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about not only the Walt and Jesse return / cameo in this episode. Do you think we'll see any more? Do you think that in the next 2 episodes we're going to see even more? Do you think that's it? Definitely let me know, and that is it for this video, guys. So, of course, guys, if you're new to here to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos for Breaking Bad. Make sure to also follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for Better Call Saul. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.